Right now at 5, Columbia police are still searching for this man. He's accused of shooting into a car because of road rage. In a live report, experts tell us what you can do if you're in that scary situation.
It's been another soggy, rainy day across the Midlands of South Carolina, but we do have a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll talk about some sunshine in your First Alert forecast.
Plus, more than a month after the Allen Benedict court crisis, one woman now has a new home thanks to someone she barely knows.
It's just a cycle of humanity and giving. It's just been phenomenal.
An amazing story. You will hear from that woman about just how happy she is to have a permanent place to call home. Your News at 5 starts now.
Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
Columbia police need your help finding a man wanted in connection with a road rage incident that injured someone.
They say that Charles Toohey shot at a car on I-77 near Shop Road Tuesday, hitting a woman in another car. Caroline Hecker is live tonight along Interstate 77. Caroline, tell us what law enforcement experts say you should do if you're caught up in a situation like this.
Well, road rage is one of those situations that we can all pretty much relate to, whether someone cuts you off or is driving too slow. For most people, it involves a few choice words and then they move on with their day. But experts say if somebody brandishes any kind of weapon like a gun, there are things you should do and there are things that you should certainly not do. And they stress that road rage can happen anywhere. It doesn't just happen here on the interstate. It can happen on surface roads. It can happen out on a rural country road. And it goes beyond that basic level of irritation, and it's elevated to a criminal act. The best thing you can do if you encounter someone on the roadway who has an issue with your driving is to either speed up or slow down, the idea being to create distance between you and the aggressor. And if you find yourself in a situation where there is a deadly weapon like a gun or a crowbar, experts want you to remember that you too have a weapon in your possession.
You have a weapon that you're in control of, which is that vehicle. Use it accordingly. Remember that you are driving a weapon, and if you are confronted by deadly force, by law, you are authorized to utilize deadly force to protect you or the life of another.
As for 25-year-old Charles Toohey, Columbia police say he does have ties to the state of New York, but at this point they don't have any reason to believe that he has left the Columbia area, so they want you to keep an eye out for him. However, he is considered armed and dangerous, so if you do see him, do not approach him. And Columbia police say once he is apprehended, he is facing several charges, including 3 counts of attempted murder for allegedly firing that gun into that car. Live along Interstate 77, Caroline Hecker, WIS News 10.
Thank you, Caroline. And coming up tonight at 6, we will show you what experts say you should do if you find yourself in a road rage incident stopped at an intersection.
Not much rain outside right now, but it's still damp from showers that we've already seen. When we have a live look over the capital city, you can see just some fog in the area right now. Maybe a couple of raindrops here and there throughout your evening commute. Could make for a slippery situation. Chief Meteorologist Demenis Brown tracking more in your First Alert forecast. Demenis?
Hey Greg, it's just been gloomy today across the Midlands, and I'll show you that we still have some showers on First Alert radar that we're tracking, but they're mainly light to moderate in nature, kind of some pockets of heavier showers there. You'll see areas in Orangeburg County, that's going to be near North and Neces, also in Calhoun County, just to the west of St. Matthews, and a few more showers in Clarendon County, moving to the southern reaches of Sumter. And you'll also notice a few more thunderstorms, and this is over in areas like Metro Atlanta, North Georgia. We're going to be watching out for these as these showers are mainly moving to the north and east, but we'll see how close they get to the Midlands over the next several hours. Otherwise, this is what we're seeing. A lot of clouds outside, and we're going to have to deal with some more showers as we go through tonight and even some areas of fog. So you'll see Futurecast as we take you through the next few hours here, an opportunity for some showers. We'll watch out for the radar to see whether or not any of that activity pushes in from the west of us. Here's your forecast early in the morning. Low clouds and fog. Not a ton of rain out there, but we'll likely see some mist and drizzle around as we go through the morning, even into the afternoon hours, and likely a few more showers and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder late tomorrow night into our Friday. You'll see the rain chances here around 50% going into Friday, 40% tomorrow, and even an opportunity for some showers for your weekend. Now, we do have some sunshine on the way. It's going to take a little while to get here, but we have some sunshine to talk about in your First Alert forecast.
All right, Dominus, thanks. And you can see where storms are located around the Midlands 24/7 in the palm of your hand with the WIS First Alert weather app. You can see radar, and you can also go hour by hour to see what conditions will look like in your area. The app is free in your app store.
It has now been just over a month since more than 400 people were forced to evacuate after deadly gas leaks at Allen Benedict Court Apartments.
And in that time, many of them have been forced to go from hotel to hotel, but that constant shuffling is over for one family. Our Jenna Cisneros talked with them and joins us now in studio. Jenna?
Well, Greg, this mother of three has been living in an extended stay hotel for the past month. And this past Monday, she tells me her prayers finally been answered after a traumatic month of not having a place to call home. Thanks to the help of one Midlands woman, her dream of finally owning a home is now a reality.
Hey, how you doing? Fine. That's good.
This moment, more than a month in the making.
It was very emotional. Then woke up out your sleep around 2 o'clock in the morning and told me you have to leave the house.
Sharina Belton was one of the 400 residents left without a place to call home after a gas leak prompted residents to leave. She lived in a hotel with her 3 kids for weeks. And though it was stressful, there was one person who always gave her a small glimpse of hope.
I just said to myself, what would happen if I just really took 3 months of my time and really just poured it into one family and one person?
For weeks, Madeline Cameron has given this family her all.
Just being on the perimeter of it, it makes you think about the things you take for granted.
From bringing donations to the hotel to now helping her move into a new home.
I think the biggest thing is just encouragement, just to show her that people out here care.
She has become like a part of my family now.
A prime example of how a community can come together and change the lives of those in need.
The storm is finally over. And my new life is just beginning in my new home.
And this all started when Madeline made a 3-month commitment to the family, helping out until they get back on their feet.
Yeah, it's nice to see them in a permanent place. Is there any way that people can donate to others?
Yeah, so Madeline actually made a Facebook group, which we have posted on our website, and she's also working to help connect other community family members to other families that are in need right now. All of that posted on our website, WISTV.com.
All right, Jenna, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Excuse me. Greg, do you mind?
After listening to hours of testimony from teachers, proposed changes have been made to the massive education reform bill filed by Speaker of the House Jay Lucas. State House reporter Jason Raven has an update for us tonight.
The amendment was unveiled today during a House Education Subcommittee meeting, and the proposed changes were brought to the committee by Representative Ray Felder of York County. Now, some of those big changes include adding a teacher bill of rights, removing a proposal that would allow high-performing schools to hire 25% non-certified teachers, and removed language that would have created a study into the possibility of creating career bans for teachers. Now, these were some of the things teachers brought up during their 5-hour testimony the other night. Now, earlier today, the Speaker of the House, State Superintendent, joined the governor to give an update on their education reform efforts. They say it is important for everyone to work together on this issue.
It's a joint effort, and to make the changes that we need, it's going to take all of us working and using our most creative minds. There's no one silver bullet that's going to fix the problems. There are many things that need to change.
The House bill has bipartisan support. 81 sponsors have now signed on to this bill from both sides of the aisle. From the State House, Jason Raven, back to you.
Well, that subcommittee voted to carry over the amendment to their next meeting. Happening tomorrow, U.S. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos will visit an area with struggling schools. DeVos will join U.S. Congressman Tom Rice and Superintendent Molly Spearman in Florence at the Timmonsville Education Center. The discussion will focus on ways that Spearman and the State Department of Education have helped more than 30 low-performing South Carolina schools improve performance. Developing now, a couple is facing charges after investigators say a child had severe burns and did not get immediate medical attention. Arthur Schlinger Jr. and Tara Thompson are charged with unlawful conduct toward a child. Orangeburg County deputies say in November of 2018, they responded to a Vance home after a woman reported an injured child. The woman says that she was told that an iron had fallen on the child. The child was later taken to the hospital and eventually transferred to the burn center in Augusta, Georgia. Doctors found several second and third degree burns on that child's leg. Sumter police say a man was caught on camera stealing ATVs, and now they need your help to catch him. Video shows a man with his face covered, dressed in dark clothing and wearing gloves enter the back storage lot of Extreme Sports on Westmark Boulevard. Anyone who may have seen the late night or early morning activity at that business or may know of someone involved is asked to call Sumter Police.
Well, a company has announced it is bringing nearly 40 jobs to Orangeburg County. The Quality Model Group of companies says it is expanding its plastic injection molding operations. The Orangeburg County facility offers design, tool, building, and manufacturing services for power sports, industrial, automotive, and aftermarket industries. A woman says that a recent security scare made her realize something on the internet could help criminals target her.
Yeah, she bought a home years ago, but says that pictures of the inside are still easily seen online.
They need to go in and Google their address, because that's what I did.
Now she wants something done to keep her and others safe.
Here, trust is earned. It comes from experience, consistency, action through adversity. At WIS News 10, we earn your trust by alerting you first. Through the storms that change your life, the storms that change your plans, and the storms yet to come. Since 1953, we've been there, and we'll be there so you can protect your family. That's why we First Alert.
Be ready for spring with John Deere Green at Blanchard Equipment. Mow your yard in next to no time with a new John Deere Z-Track mower. Have a task that requires more horsepower? Come test drive the full line of John Deere compact utility tractors. We can help find the tractor that best fits your task. We have the green you'll need this spring. Visit us at any of our 15 Blanchard Equipment locations across Georgia and South Carolina, or visit us online at BlanchardEquipment.com.
Ford Expedition has more second and third row legroom than Tahoe. More cargo room, better fuel economy, and as J.D. Power calls it, the best large SUV in initial quality and vehicle appeal. Guess you better make room in the garage.
Now get 0 for 72 on Expedition, or get up to $4,500 cash back on a 2019 Escape and a 2018 Explorer or Expedition, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
The Home and Landscape Expo is coming. Shop, compare, and save big this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center.
Hey Shelly, just wanted to say thank you. After my accident, I don't know what I would have done without you. I couldn't be more pleased. With the money you got me, but trust me, it'll be put to good use. I just wanted to send this and say thanks again.
Injured in a car wreck? Do what your friends, family, and neighbors have been doing for years. Call 803-567-5000 or go to callshellynow.com.
Download the free WIS First Alert weather app today. Sponsored by Rushes.
Well, a South Carolina homeowner, that is expressing concerns after realizing photos of her property continue to show up on real estate websites years after she closed on it. Cheryl Hogan has lived in her home the past 7 years and just recently faced a security breach for the first time, which then led her to think about all of the ways that she can protect her home. She ran a quick Google search on her address and discovered multiple photos of the inside of her home. Now, they were taken before the property was purchased, but then posted on several popular real estate websites where they apparently still appear.
They need to go in and Google their address, because that's what I did. And that's when I found out how many pictures. And some sites had 15 pictures of my home, and some sites had 21 pictures of my home. And it's a security hazard. I mean, and especially if your house is for sale, you really can't do anything about that because you're trying to get the word out. But for new homeowners or homeowners that have had their house, and it wasn't a brand new house that they built or that they had built, but if they've bought their house from somebody else, they need to Google their address.
Hogan is concerned that the pictures that show up online can be used by criminals to break into her home and that they would know the whole layout in advance.
An escalating war of words between President Trump and the man who was once in charge of the FBI, former acting director Andrew McCabe. President Trump again lashing out at the fired official. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more from Washington.
We have many reports. Anybody else?
Today, President Trump taking a new swipe at fired acting FBI director Andrew McCabe.
Well, I think Andrew McCabe has made a fool out of himself over the last couple of days. He is a disgraced man. He was terminated, not by me, he was terminated by others.
It comes as McCabe, in a series of media appearances to promote his new book, reveals he opened a counterintelligence investigation into President Trump, saying he thought it was possible the president was working for Russia.
So you believe he's a national security threat?
I think that what he's doing and what he's saying is making this country less safe. That's right.
McCabe was fired for allegedly lying about his interactions with the media.
What he was trying to do was terrible, and he was caught. I'm very proud to say we caught him.
President Trump also angrily lashing out at the New York Times, slamming the newspaper as a true enemy of the people after a Times report that the president tried to put a U.S. attorney he appointed in charge of the investigation into alleged hush money payments made during the 2016 campaign. The Times reporting President Trump asked Matt Whitaker, then his acting attorney general, whether Jeffrey Berman could be put in charge of the widening investigation involving former presidential fixer Michael Cohen. Today, the Times firing back, saying the president's rhetoric is not just false, it's dangerous. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
And today, more top Republicans are now raising questions about FBI practices in light of McCabe's interviews. Some are even asking for a second special counsel to be appointed. One of the president's allies, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, is calling for congressional hearings.
Well, custom agents busted a man with hundreds of pounds of meth at the U.S.-Mexico border. They say the drugs were in the middle of a very unique hiding place.
The weather today, not ideal for most of us here in the Midlands. We are seeing some showers, some mist and drizzle, areas of fog as well. But we do have some better weather on the way, which we'll talk about in your First Alert 7-day forecast.